in order to fight corruption. In fact, we all know Anas Armiyaw Anas has paid his dues and is still not retiring and doing more. He's somebody who has been endorsed by the Western press and by well-meaning journalists and journalist associations. He is a man who has also been endorsed by the judiciary in Ghana until only last week, when the same judiciary, using one Justice Eric Ban, came back and gave him a bite, going back on the very words of endorsement on Anas Armiyaw Anas. Now, the former president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, says that when he returns as the president of Ghana one more time, he would make sure that he gives us a certain timeless experience. In his own words, he says, priceless experience. Mr. President, I have a little word for you, and this word is very simple. You had the first opportunity to be able to give us that priceless experience. You did what you did, but you also failed in a lot of things that you promised to do. Mr. President, words are very cheap. If at all we do not know what it means to say words are cheap, Nana Akufo-Addo has proven to us that we have all men who can lie between their teeth and still feel holy enough to build a cathedral. I know you want to hear this again. I am saying that if we do not even understand exactly what it means to say that words are cheap, at least Nana Akufo-Addo has demonstrated to us that old men can lie between their teeth and still feel holy enough to build a cathedral. Hallelujah. Hear me now. Every Ghanaian feels unfortunate to be a member of this country, better still, a citizen of this country under Nana Akufo-Addo. We all saw how he behaved holier than thou, so moralized. He has now turned the whole country into his own backyard garden and is subjecting Ghanaians to nothing but hypocrisy and lies and ineffective governance, better still, inefficacious governance. My brother, my sister, when I see another old man coming up to knock on my door and ask me for my mandate, the first thing that I will think about is that legendary statement that once bitten by a snake, when you even see the worm, you start taking to your heels. Mr. President, you built a number of hospitals. You built some schools. You built a number of roads. We are proud of that. You did a number of things. But at the time that you were president, Mr. President, corruption was a thing that shocked all of us. We still remember the Airbus situation, which we cannot hold you down on because investigations are still going on. At the same time, we still remember the unconfirmed caboodle when guinea fowls, tongue in cheek, flew all the way into Burkina Faso and never returned. And I'm speaking tongue in cheek. We still remember the corruption surrounding the supply of some computers, which never happened. We still remember, Mr. President, how you were throwing away money as if it was your own personal money. You threw away the money of Ghanaians as if it was your own money. We remember all that, Mr. President. Mr. President, we also still remember when you told the whole nation that you had developed a certain kind of syndrome which cannot be found in any medical dictionary, the dead goat syndrome. More deadly than HIV/AIDS, more deadly than Ebola, more deadly than SARS, more deadly than Marburg, more deadly than COVID-19. You were proud to tell us that you have developed that deadly syndrome. Mr. President, have you been cured of that deadly syndrome? I'm very much interested in knowing that. Because to vote you back into power and you still are suffering from the dead God syndrome, worse than all these other syndromes that I mentioned, I am afraid, Mr. President, you might not survive all your 4 years. 10. Again, Mr. President.